Hello, everybody. Many of you were involved in our campaign to bring change to this country. And over the course of a long and hard-fought 2 years, we held together against some pretty tough odds and some pretty tough opposition. But we won because of you, because ordinary Americans from every walk of life knocked on doors and talked to their neighbors and made their voices heard, because you demanded change in Washington. That's the kind of determination we need right now when it comes to reforming our system of health insurance. When we started this journey, we heard those same voices of doubt that we heard on the campaign. The pundits and the cynics saying we ought to set our sights lower, that we should give up, turn back, accept less than the change that we all know is necessary. But I've never accepted that, and neither have you. Not when families and small businesses can't afford insurance. Not when folks are being denied coverage because of pre-existing conditions, or thrown off the insurance rolls because they got sick. Not when people are seeing huge out-of-pocket costs and premiums rising by 10, 20, or 30%. And not when rising healthcare costs are sinking our country deeper and deeper into debt. That's why I've put forward a proposal that would do three things. First, it would end the worst practices of insurance companies. No longer would insurers be able to deny you coverage because of a pre-existing condition or drop your coverage because you got sick. And they wouldn't be able to charge unlimited amounts for out-of-pocket expenses or arbitrarily raise premiums. Second, we would give small businesses and people who don't get insurance at work the same choice of private health insurance that members of Congress will get. Because if it's good enough for members of Congress, it's good enough for the people who pay their salaries. And if you still can't afford insurance in this new marketplace, then we'll offer you tax credits based on your income. Third, my proposal would bring down the cost of health care for millions, for families, businesses, and for the federal government, and would extend the life of Medicare. We've now incorporated most serious ideas from across the political spectrum about how to rein in rising costs, ideas that go after waste and abuse while reducing errors and improving care for people. In fact, much of this proposal draws on the best ideas from Democrats and Republicans, including some of the ideas that Republicans offered during the healthcare summit we held last week. And that meeting capped off a debate that has lasted the better part of a year. So now's the time. Now's our chance to make truly meaningful progress that will mean greater security in the lives of all Americans, that will give people, not insurance companies or the government, more control over their health care. And I need your help. Nearly 3 million of you have already taken action in support of reform. You've organized over 25,000 events, made over 1 million calls to members of Congress, and you've pledged to volunteer nearly 9 million hours to the campaigns of members of Congress and candidates who are fighting for reform. But in these next few days of decision, I need to enlist you once more. The special interests are marshaling their forces for one last fight to save the status quo, and we can't let that happen. That's why I'm asking you to summon the energy, the commitment, and the drive that has fueled this movement since day one. I need you to work the phones, walk the streets, talk to your neighbors, and debunk the myths about our plans in this final march for reform. And I need your help in urging all Americans who want this reform to make their voices heard too. Every parent, every business owner, every patient, every doctor, every nurse. There are countless stories that remind us what's at stake in this fight. One of them is about a woman who volunteered for our campaign. She put off a medical exam she needed because, even with insurance, she couldn't afford it. A year later, she discovered she had cancer. And in the years that followed, she fought not just to beat her illness, but to change our health insurance system so no one else would go through what she did. She died a few weeks ago. She was 41 years old. I'm here because men and women like her stood up and demanded change. I'm here because of you. And if we succeed in this historic effort to improve our healthcare system, it will be because of you as well. Yes, this is going to be a fight to the finish, but we're used to those. And together, I'm confident that we can win this fight, that we can succeed in this great enterprise to move our country forward. Thanks so much.